What's up, guys? Welcome to Sports Talk 101. In today's video, we're going to be doing bowl preview prediction videos. We're looking at the college football, and today we're looking at Alabama comes to tie Kellen DeBoer year two. Year two under Kellen DeBoer. Decent season last year for Kellen DeBoer. Missed the playoffs. Obviously, and all Alabama fans going, look, Alabama fans, listen to me. Alabama fans, yeah, I've been all offseason. Oh, we should be in the playoff. Right, but well, if you win your games, win your games, and then you talk about playoffs. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. But Alabama had a great season last year. I mean, they got some loss to Oklahoma, Vandy. Those two losses were acceptable. The other losses, were okay. Yeah, you lost to really good teams. And then of course lost to Michigan in the bowl game. So Alabama had a decent season. 8-5 is the season. But the good news for Alabama is you're a good team. This is a really good program. Caleb DeBoer coming in, a head coach from Washington, having a really perfect season, goes to the national championship, and lose to Michigan in the national championship, comes in year one, replaces Nick Saban, who comes in and retires after the Rose Bowl game last year. Listen, last season. Here's what I'm gonna say. Oh, season before, rather. Here's what I'm gonna say. Nick Saban's a great coach, the greatest of all time. But Caleb DeBoer is a good coach. But he put it in perspective, and Caleb DeBoer had to fill in one of the toughest shoes. Being a coach at Alabama after Nick Saban is not an easy job. And Caleb DeBoer did that in year one. Right? So I'll give him credit what credit's due at tops. Alright, the good news is the other thing is they're great recruiting club. Look, fourth overall recruiting, and they 21st in transfer portal, top 25 in transfer portal, top 5 usually in most years in the rankings. Of course, how many 5-stars? 3 5-stars. Keenan Russell, the quarterback out of Texas, and Michael Carroll, and then Dijon Lee Jr. Any big names here? Let's see. Nope. But they did a good job in the transfer portal. Nicely, they got Brody Dalton, tight end from Temple. Jack Sakamako, tight end from West Virginia. Jane Harbison, offensive tackle from South Alabama. Big Dow punter. Peter Knudsen, tight end from the High Point? River State, sorry. Draylon Washington, running back from Louisiana. Arkel Kunum, offensive tackle, Ball State. Nikhai Hill Green, linebacker, Colorado. Isaiah Horton, wide receiver, Miami. Florida, sorry. Cam Dubé, offensive lineman, Texas A&M. Cameron Calhoun, corner from Utah. And Kelby Collins, defensive lineman from Florida. Like I said, the fifth season 9-4. One of the game losses were to Tennessee, Vandy, and Oklahoma. Although it was the Vandy game and Oklahoma unacceptable, but the Tennessee, it makes sense. They'll play everything last year. They're a good team. It's just a decent lot. It's on the road in a really tough environment. The other two unacceptable. And of course, get lost to Michigan in the bowl game. Heading into 2025, let's see where we are with the schedule. Looks like a decent schedule. The bye weeks is where I really schedule look. First is to know who's coming back, who's returning, how you do the transfer portal recruiting, and then we look at schedule, where the games are played, especially non-con games, home conference games, whether home and away, and when the bye weeks play. The bye weeks are placed at the most, probably the best, in my opinion, the best times. Alright, you get your bye week. I don't get to that when we get to preview prediction, but I'm going to get game by game. But this is where the 2 bye weeks are. I like it. This schedule, and you know how I feel about schedules, and especially the football, where you need a bye week for 2 weeks to rest of your players for injury reason or your big game coming up. In this case, that's the case for Alabama. They got two big games coming up at Georgia and LSU, both separated by a bye week. The good news for Florida, for Alabama, is you go start the season on the road in Florida State, play first 2 games, bye week, then you play 5 games, bye week, and then finish the last 4 games. Right? You start the season on the road, Florida, come home against Louisiana Monroe, then you got Wisconsin, then you have the bye week. Right, bye week is crucial. You go on the road, take on Georgia, come home, beat Vandy, go on the road, Tennessee, Missouri, Tennessee at home, and then on the road against South Carolina. Head to bye week, come off the bye week, you got LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, all at home before going for the season against Iowa on the road against Auburn. Alright, what like my schedule is, actually, before we get a schedule, okay, good. Odds. Betting odds. Look at DraftKings, they have the betting odds, the win total. Alright, and the win total for your Alabama coverage type, if I remember correctly, let's see here. I think it's 9.5. Okay, I think Tennessee, Georgia are like 9.5. Oklahoma as well, 9.5. Where you look at your Oklahoma 6.5, sorry. But at least the top tier teams like Tennessee, Georgia could be a 9.5 team. 9.5 win total there. Texas also in that category of 9.5 for the SEC. In this case, Alabama win total for 8 to 2025 is 9.5. That's what it is. So you take 9.5. That means you think to go 10-2, 11-1, 12-0. You take the under, that means you go like 9-3, 8-4, that type of situation. You take minus 105 there, 115. Depending, okay, with FanDuel, BetMGM, you know. Okay, here we go. So win total, yeah. Win total is 9.5 under, is at 9.5. I'm going to take the over. I didn't think he win 10. There's a 10-2 type of team. This is a playoff team, so. But good news for Alabama, you're going to start the season 4-3-0, hanging your bye week. If you saw me on this channel, I did a Georgia video, and I have you being Georgia, because Georgia loses to this. Look, you're already 5-0 heading into the Missouri game. You beat Vandy, you beat Georgia, you beat Wisconsin, ULM. Unfortunately, now here's the stretch. Here's what I say. If you're looking for a trap game, the Missouri game, how it's considered a trap game, but it's possible. Why is it? You're coming off a big win against Vandy, right? When you go on the road in Missouri, the following weekend you got Tennessee. If Alabama gets caught looking ahead at the Tennessee game, they could potentially lose to Missouri. But I don't think so. But I've done the Tennessee game and team, and of course it's first loss there. Then go on the road at South Carolina, but you get a bye week right before the LSU game. Another trap. This is, if you're looking for a ideal trap game, this is it. Missouri is a team maybe. Look, Missouri could be a team that Alabama, say a trap game, but Alabama could trip up on because it's on the road right before the big game against Tennessee. And the LSU bye week comes off really good bye week, good timing right before the Georgia game and for the LSU game, which is crucial for Alabama's sake. You get at South Carolina and come home against LSU with a bye week in between. Yes, get a bye week to rest of any injured players. Get ready for the big game against LSU. If you lose, I think the reason why it's less is there's got a bye week in between this stretch right here. This stretch of game that worries me the most. If I'm an Alabama fan. As an Alabama fan, you know that this, if I'm an Alabama fan, and all Alabama fans should know this, but even as college football fans, this 4 games is the crucial 4 straight games point of it. You got Tennessee at home, on the road, South Carolina, bye week. Look, coming from bye week, you got LSU. If they're caught looking ahead 2 weeks at LSU game, they could trip up and lose to South Carolina. We've seen South Carolina win these big matchups. We have seen it. Alabama is too talented and just a better team than South Carolina in general. But this is where I caution. Should you lose to South Carolina? I think you beat South Carolina. I just really sell a solution. But you could trip up and lose this game. Bye week, you beat LSU. So for bye week, you got Oklahoma. You get revenge there. You beat Illinois. And you beat Auburn. Actually, you know what? I'll take it back. I think you'll lose to South Carolina. Sorry. Why? It goes back to my games. It's on the road, South Carolina. Yes, stuff get played right before the bye week. But I feel like Alabama will get caught looking at the LSU game. If not, they can win this game. But this game, then they can. Right there, 10-2 playoff team. You can argue 11-1. But 10-2 seems reasonable. Right, losses to Tennessee and South Carolina. You can lose to Tennessee, LSU, and beat South Carolina to go 10-2. That's possible. Could you trip up someone here? Sure. Could trip up earlier this season? Sure. All right, so there's a lot of factors, but I think 10-2 seems reasonable and 225. So there you have it. Over under is 10-2 or 5.5. So let's pick up 10-2. Great season. Probably last year. I think they'll do a good job next year. Under Kellen DeBoer as head coach. One of the members of the SEC. Like your channel. Hit the notification button up. I am supposed to go on. So, video. Peace.